Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Al here, and I'm here with Zach Clark from ESPN and 1049, and he's here with us today. Hey, Zach, how's it going?
Feeling great. Always great to be here at work, and I love what I do, so I'm a really lucky guy, there's no doubt.
All right, well, I'd like to ask you a few questions.
Please?
So what inspired you to be a sports analyst?
Oh man, I think my biggest inspiration was I never wanted a real job. I didn't want a 9 to 5, I didn't want a cubicle, and I always loved sports growing up, spending time with my dad and my mom too. And when I got to college, I didn't know what I wanted to do, and they said, have you tried the radio station? And I said, no. And I walked in, and from that day on, this is all I've ever wanted to do. And I've been lucky, that's all I ever have done.
That's very nice. So did being a sports analyst kind of fall onto you by accident?
Well, yeah, kinda. I didn't know. I knew I wanted to work in sports. I knew I wanted to work in journalism. I didn't know what I wanted to do. And so my advisor at the university said, why don't you check out the radio station? And once I walked in, that was it for me. That was game over.
All right, I see. Tell us what it's like to be on the air.
Oh man, to me it's a ton of fun. I love the live aspect of things. There's this pressure that kind of follows you where any mistake you make, whatever you do, you can't say time out, stop. You know, everything keeps going. I like that pressure. And it's fun. I love being able to talk to people, communicate with the folks in Tucson and beyond. I love it. I love the live atmosphere. It's the most fun part of the job for me.
Very fascinating. So when did you know when this was your calling?
You know, like I said, back to that, going into that radio station for the first time, I realized that the radio was where I wanted to be. TV is great. That's not really my thing. I'm not the best writer, so I think maybe I just kind of landed into this. There's nothing else I really could have done. That was something that when I graduated from college, I didn't have the opportunity for the job that I wanted specifically, so I went back home. I grew up in Romeo, and I got to work with a lot of really cool people, and I got to get my feet wet, and I got to kind of, I don't want to say tread water because that's disrespectful to what I was doing, but I got to do something while I waited for my opportunity, which ultimately came a little bit later when I moved to Arkansas and started getting the radio full time.
That's very nice. Very big, man. So how do you feel about the NFL preseason this year?
The preseason is always interesting. The very beginning of the preseason is fun because we've been waiting for football and finally you get it. But then after a week or two, the preseason matters to coaches, it matters to players, it matters to the front office. But to us fans, only so much of that matters, I think. And so I don't want to say you get bored of it, but preseason lets you know that the real thing is on the way, and that's what we really want.
So you were talking about the new recruits that we have here at the U of A. How do you feel about those new recruits going into the NFL?
Well, you look at Arizona football and what they've been able to do, the recruiting has really taken off since they replaced the defensive staff in January. So I expect big things from the defense. It may take a while, it may not happen this year, but I think it's 17, 18, 19 going forward, you'll see a much better Arizona Wildcats defense.
Yeah, I honestly think it's really cool. I mean, what's even cooler is that we even have Scooby Wright. What do you think about that?
Yeah, and you look at him in the NFL now, went 7th round, which that surprised me, but I think his talent will supersede where he was picked, and you'll see him succeed in Cleveland. I hope at least. Good kid.
Oh, all right. So how are you liking the Rio 2016 Olympics?
I love the Olympics. You and I were talking about that earlier. In fact, I love the obscurity. I'll watch archery, I'll watch fencing, table tennis, and I'll watch the basketball, swimming, track and field. But to me, the more obscure the sport, the more I enjoy it because you don't get to see that every day. How often do you see two dudes playing table tennis at that level on TV? You don't, and so I enjoy that.
Yeah, so describe how it's very different that in other countries the obscure sports are showing more there, and here in the US we're very limited.
Right, and that's the thing. So people that don't see these kind of things normally, water polo, field hockey, you don't get to see those on a regular basis, and so that's what I like about the Olympics is it shows you things that maybe you wouldn't normally see, and I appreciate that about it.
Right now, what Olympics medalist has caught your eye?
Well, you look at what Michael Phelps has done, what Simone Biles has done, all of that, and it's just tremendous. Usain Bolt, you're seeing people that may be the best ever at what they do, and seeing it across 2 or 3 disciplines has been really, really exciting. I love that.
How do you feel about Usain Bolt's most recent performance in the 100-meter dash?
And yesterday, he won a gold medal in the 100-meter dash, and it looked like he didn't even try. He didn't pick up his fastest speed until the last 20, 30 meters. It was really impressive.
All right, well, sports aside, in the news business, Do you admire anybody, or do you have anyone you enjoy working with?
You know, in the news business, we're fortunate here to have KGUN9 downstairs, and they have such a great news team. I like working with all of them, really. I get the opportunity every once in a while to cross paths with them, whether it's at a press conference or just here in the building, and I have a lot of respect for them. What they do is much more difficult than what we do, and that's the fun part for me, is that sports is a hobby, it's a relaxation, it's not war or politics, it's much more simple, and that's part of what I enjoy about what I do. Yeah, I grew up playing a bunch of sports. I'm not very good at them, but I still to this day play golf, tennis, and I'll play basketball, football, whatever is going on now with hockey coming back a little bit, to lace my skates up and get on the ice a little bit too.
All right, guys, I think that does it for today. Thank you once again for having us here, Zach.
Oh, it was my pleasure. Thank you so much for the time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, everybody, for watching, and we'll see you next time.